Welcome to a reaction video to why Ganondorf is one of the best Nintendo villains by Super DED6. If you want to check out the original video, link will be in the description. So, yeah, if you want to check out the video without my voice, up to you. I planned on doing this, like, yesterday, but because my freaking software decided to, screw over my video, my previous one, so I figured I would get it done today, because I did ask. So, yeah, this is going to be my initial reaction to this video, so let's get started with this list. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Luckily, this is a shorter video, so it won't take... the reaction won't take that long. So, yeah. Double upload, and yeah. I mean, we got ourselves an awesome intro right here, but that's how we like things.
May the stars shine down on you.
I do kind of miss doing reaction videos, but I do plan on doing more.
Again with another review, but this time it's a positive review.
What's this? A positive review on this channel? No way! Yeah. I mean, it was expected, but I look forward to them.
He is none other than Chad Peterson.
Hello everyone, I'm glad to be here for a positive review. Anyways, this topic is one that I've been wanting to discuss for a while. But first, let's introduce the others.
Bring out the rest of the gang.
That's right. I am back once again.
Like,
and this time, I have 3 more
I've been
colleagues to join this video.
Preparing
no,
on, like,
they
doing
are not
this,
the villainous
and...
colleagues that you guys are used to. With that said,
who'd you invite?
Introduce yourselves, everyone.
Hate that guy garbage on my screen.
I am the Calamity's right hand, an emissary of fate itself. I am Astor, prophet of doom, and I joined this video because I wanted the audience to bask in my glorious presence.
Get over yourself! You came because the master made you! Anyways, I am the usurper King Zant, and let's just say I came here because I have a special someone to discuss. Nothing more and nothing less.
I mean, everyone is here to talk about Ganondorf.
I need to introduce myself as well. I am the Demon Lord Girihim, but you may call me
That
Girihim.
voice is so perfect for
fine.
Girihim.
Anyways, everyone is here? Good. Let's get this done already.
Anyway, the title and thumbnail most likely gave it away. So,
I mean, it's obvious. It's what you expect.
Is none other than the Demon King himself, Ganondorf!
Despite
Now,
my little
you're
acknowledgement
probably
with
wondering
the
why we're
series
making
and
a
playing
review on
this
particular character.
and such,
Well,
I actually kind of like
like
this villain and for what he's offered. I mean, I'm mostly
for his money in multiple
overrated.
categories.
I mean,
You
you're
bet
not wrong
me.
there.
Not only that,
He is
but he's
overrated.
my favorite villain of all time. When he's not DED6's favorite villain ever, he's still up there due to how cool he is.
Indeed. Now, before we
I
begin,
mean, he is one
we
of the
have
cooler
7
villains in
categories we will split this
Nintendo's,
video
like,
into.
roster of
1.
antagonists.
Design. 2. Atmosphere. 3. Performance. 4. Personality. 5. Threat level. 6. Boss fights. And 7. Memorability and appearances.
Let's see if he nails down on all of them.
Astor, Girihim, and Zant will help provide additional information whenever it is needed.
One last note, we are disqualifying the CGI, TV show, and Super Smash Bros. Versions of Ganondorf from
We don't need those versions.
Since the former 2 are way
Yeah.
too easy to poke fun at. Plus, it would be like beating a dead horse, considering how many people on the internet made fun of it.
I mean, that's stupid.
Samurai second punching bag!
And I thought Sakurai hated Waluigi.
I
Anyway,
mean, what'd you
let
expect
us
from
discuss
Sakurai?
why Ganondorf is one of the
The
best
first thing they had
Nintendo villains.
done for him is show
and
him
one other
getting
thing,
thrown
there
off a
will be
cliff by
spoilers for
Kazuya.
Tears of the Kingdom. So if you haven't played the game, then don't watch this video if you care about spoilers.
I'm not gonna say anything. Okay?
Ganondorf's designs have changed a lot over the years. All of them managed to stand out for a character in one way or another. And, unlike
changed?
Bowser, a lot of them have something to stand out from each other.
Ganondorf's designs get like more and more cooler the more the series like continues.
Of a buff samurai. His second form is a glow-up version of Demise, and his final form is that of a dragon.
And I thought my final form was badass. Ganondorf is on the whole other level of cool. I mean, look at this. If you don't think
A
this is cool,
frickin'
well, I have
dragon
to
for
disagree,
a
even
final
if I
boss.
respect your opinion.
You also forgot his mummy form where he looks like a decayed zombie. That may sound lame, but he manages to make it scary and cool at the same time.
I still praise
However,
that scene.
all of these designs have one thing in common. They are all badass. And keep in mind that this is just his most recent appearance. Indeed.
I mean, if
all
you
of
look
his forms
back at his
fulfill
like
their function
previous
in one way
forms,
or
you'll
another,
notice like
whether it be the
some
fact
pretty
that his
cool
designs
ones.
make him look menacing, cool, or sophisticated.
And sure, the Nintendo Land and Animal Crossing versions of him have goofy designs, but they aren't really meant to be seen as serious anyway, and the Animal Crossing version is not a villain, so that version is being disregarded.
With that said,
Yeah.
let's move on to the next category.
I mean,
this one
it's fine.
will be even more expansive.
Atmosphere.
The atmosphere with Ganondorf cannot be denied, especially since his appearances are usually accompanied by a sinister yet bombastic theme and a dark background.
He even plays the
his boss
freaking
fights, which we
organ
will get to
during
later,
his
are
introduction
filled
in
with
Ocarina of
atmosphere.
Time,
Yes,
the build-up
indeed
of the
they
final
are.
confrontation.
Even my excellent
I mean-
theme songs are not as iconic and memorable as the Great One's theme songs. Here's a demonstration of his.
I mean, the other
themes
villains
from
had some
Ocarina of
pretty good
Time.
themes, but of course, Ganondorf does have the best one out of all of them. Even if one of like his right-hand men, like what was that wizard guy name from Link in the Past? Yeah, the music plays for him. I would have to say, honestly, my personal favorite theme from the Demon King is definitely a tie between
Now,
Twilight
The
Princess
same applies to
and
the
Ocarina of
music in
Time.
the background. Almost all of the background music in this video is a theme song used for Ganondorf at one point or another.
Indeed, the dark backgrounds also fit well, showing off how intimidating he is. In fact, most of his appearances, he's either seen cloaked in shadows, appears during a storm, or in some kind of evil lair, whether it be one of his castles, inside a mountain, or in a system of underground caves. Ganondorf really knows how to keep the atmosphere
yeah.
right.
And I thought my origami castle was menacing. Ganondorf's various
More menacing
layers
than
gives me the chills.
most final levels
And
I've
that's saying
seen.
something since I don't get scared
Yeah.
easily.
My Palace of Twilight also has its moments, but my master simply outdoes my performance in terms of atmosphere.
Not a lot of people were a fan of the fact that
Although,
Zant
to
gets
be fair,
replaced
having a good
by
atmosphere is
Ganondorf at the end of the
rather easy.
game.
Even if the great Demon King, Ganondorf, pulls it off really well. So let's move
I
on
mean,
to the
with
next
that
section of this video.
intimidating look, yeah, you're destined to be frightened for seeing that performance.
I'll let these clips speak for themselves.
The minute I saw this scene, I was just vastly impressed, amazed at this awesome performance. I mean, look at this. Doesn't that look amazing?
witness a king's revival. And the birth of his new world.
If
Now,
I was like a
in case
full-time
you didn't know,
Zelda fan,
Ganondorf's voice actor is none other than Matthew Mercer, who is well known for his anime performances. And fun fact,
I gotta say, the voice
this
is
the second
very
time he
fitting
played
for
the character.
Ganondorf.
The first time is in a web series called There Will Be Brawl, where he played the role of Ganondorf as one of the secondary villains of the story.
Just goes to show that
Haven't seen that.
Nintendo does know how to pick
But
their actors. Especially since
the voice
this actor
acting
has
is very
a
perfect
role.
and fitting.
Not
I
only
am
that, he's
genuinely
widely regarded as
surprised.
one of, if
So,
not the best
yeah.
voiced character in the game, even if there are a few naysayers.
If
He would
I
bring up his other
played the whole
appearances for this
series,
section,
yeah,
but
I would
so
have
far
like
it's the only
a huge
game where he's
opinion on
fully voice
Ganondorf,
acted.
and would
All
have
of
ranked
his
him
other
pretty high
appearances
as one of my
show
favorite
his
antagonists.
text boxes
I only
or
like
they are
him
versions
based
of
on
Gen
many
X
things.
allowed. So let's move on.
But yeah, that's how it goes.
This section is fairly complicated as there are 3 Ganondorfs to discuss in this section. The original Ganondorf, the Hyrule Warriors Ganondorf, and the Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf. Each version has different qualities to their personality.
Take, for instance, the original Ganondorf. He is shown to be for sure evil, but also honorable, and he does seem to care for his people.
The Hyrule Warriors.
He showed it
version is
even more
definitely a
in
villain.
The
He
Wind
has
Waker,
weaknesses
which I
and
actually
he's
found out to be
in both
pretty good and
allies
fitting
and
for his
even as
common
enemies.
personality.
And he treats his men fairly well, even if he doesn't outright care for them.
The Tears of the Kingdom version, on the other hand, is just evil to the core, since he lacks all of the more noble traits that most of his other counterparts have.
But all these Ganondorfs have one thing in common. They're all intelligent and cunning. They also have all the traits needed for a villain to take the name the Demon King. And other traits that we'll get into in a bit still allow him to be complete badass.
I mean, he has various personalities in like each of the games,
To say
even
that
if
my
they're like the
master
same
is a
motion,
threat
like
is
motivation. But
If
yeah.
you thought Bowser was a threat, well, you've seen nothing yet. Ganondorf is usually shown to be a threat towards Hyrule, if not the world, and he always manages to bring the kingdom to its knees whenever he is around. However, sometimes he's a threat to entire worlds, including the time in Tears of the Kingdom when he attempted to cast the world into eternal night, even turning himself into a dragon to attempt this.
Not to mention,
I mean, he manages to be one step ahead and make himself an actually interesting
outright
villain.
plan to conquer both the Kingdom Hyrule and the Dark World, which is the corrupted Sacred Realm, mind you.
Even if
Seriously,
his
this
appearance
guy
in Link to the
is
Past
threatening.
was
Not to mention,
just minimal
in
to
Tears
the
of
boss
Kingdom,
fight.
He nearly killed Link, destroyed the Master Sword, and pushed Hyrule Castle out from under the ground in just one scene. In a weakened state.
Indeed.
That shows he's very strong, even
Ganondorf
if he's in a weakened state. Yeah, that's a sense of
He was
badass.
the first king of Hyrule, sacrificed himself to seal Ganondorf away. Not to mention, in most of Link's fights with Ganondorf, he needed help to face the Demon King and win. Heck, Ganondorf even canonically killed the Ocarina of Time Link at the start of the Downfall timeline.
Some people have given the timeline hatred for this because it makes the Legend
I actually
of Zelda
like the
timeline more
multiple
complicated.
timeline thing. It explains how some of the games
because
even
it
like
makes
came into
Ganondorf more
existence.
intimidating since it shows that
Spread out
Link
and branch
doesn't always win
pathways.
against him.
Yeah.
Those scenarios honestly make a villain more intimidating. So, I praise Nintendo for this choice. Now,
Especially
let
since
us
they
move on
started
to
the
next
Downfall
segment.
timeline when Skyward Sword came around, since that game was supposed to be the start of the series.
The only problem with most of Ganondorf's boss fights is how most of them are actually pretty easy, with Dark Beast Ganon from Breath of the Wild.
I know,
in
right?
particular,
I've
being
seen so many
anticlimactic
footages, and the
disappointing
fights just
like Super Dementia.
are really
Although
easy
this
to go
one could be
through.
considered even worse because you
Despite the
actively
many
have to
qualities,
try and
difficulty
lose
is
to this
lacking.
fight. But hey, it's way better than Shrouzer, since Dark Beast Ganon has a superior atmosphere and he is legitimately scary.
Even if the fight is underwhelming, but
Ganondorf battles have
yeah.
vulnerable challenge to them. Especially
It probably
since
took until like
where
Tears of the
you don't
Kingdom
know
where we got an
or if you're
actual
not very bright
challenging
or
Ganondorf
genius at
fight.
everything or has godlike skills, he'll put up a good fight
Especially
if he
with
doesn't
comparison
destroy
of his
you
boss
phase
fights in
2
like
multiple
Link of
times.
the
And I
Past,
thought Phase 1 of
Ocarina
my
of
fight was
Time,
tough. He makes me look like a
and
normal boss
Wind Waker,
fight.
That
Twilight
fight in Phase 2
Princess,
is also similar to fight
Four
against
Swords
King King
Adventures,
Demise,
yeah.
except underground, and with a better design of the character. Oh, and Ganondorf is a much more memorable villain than Demise.
Indeed.
Even if I kind of like Demise
There's
a
also
little bit.
Calamity Ganon from Age of Calamity, which puts up a
I mean,
much better fight.
it's kind of a
against
guilty
the
pleasure thing, but
protagonists with
eh.
boss music. That is quite intense.
The music for
If
this
you
boss
don't
fight is
believe
easily
me,
one of my
well,
personal
here's your
favorites.
proof.
I mean, seriously, this is one of the most intimidating final boss themes in Zelda history. And especially that awesome looking design. Especially with the piano coming in, yeah.
The Twilight Princess version may be easy, but it is memorable for sure. The music, the atmosphere, and
A
the
fourth
story
phase final
behind
battle
the
that
fights
utilizes
are
most of the skills you
even
learned
if the
throughout the
fights
game.
themselves could have been harder.
To put it simply, the fights are either brutal or they are atmospheric. And going
I
back
won't
to
really
Tears of
count
the
that
Kingdom,
one.
it's a combination of both. One could argue that
Since
the
it's
final
mostly
boss
the fight
against
against the
Ganondorf
Shadow
from Tears
Nightmares.
of the Kingdom is even better than Dreamy Bowser from Mario and Luigi Dream Team. From how Ganondorf has a badass design, the fact that he turns into a massive serpentine dragon, and the music is epic.
Some people also love to praise his fight in Ocarina of Time with the atmosphere. Some people even call him the best final boss of all time.
That's kind of an understatement since the fight itself is pretty basic and easy.
But hey, it's definitely not a joke.
Yeah.
It can leave you for dead if you're not careful. Aside from that, the fight
Besides, there are
against
better
Ganon
final
in
bosses
Time
in the
is a
series.
masterpiece.
His Wind Waker fight is also decent, especially since he actually adjusts his strategy as the fight progresses, to the point where you have to allow Zelda to target you and use your shield to deflect the arrow back at Ganondorf.
And give it a satisfying finisher.
To the past formula, which involves Ganon
I consider this to be the
teleporting
actual
around the
true
arena.
boss fight against
This
Ganon,
formula
since
is used
his
in
original
Link
fight in
to
the
the
NES
Past,
game just kind of
Four Swords
exists.
Adventures, and Link Between Worlds. However, the latter technically is not Ganon, but rather Yuga.
So everyone who says he's overused is officially wrong, especially since another villain hijacked the plot from him.
Oh, and to follow up on Zan's
I mean,
point,
in Four Swords
there are
Adventures,
21
Vati was the villain in that
villains.
game entirely until
Ganondorf only
Ganondorf
features
comes in.
9 of them. So a majority of the games either only have him in a minor role, just a boss fight, or he doesn't show up at all.
That's true, but let's move on before we get off topic.
I mean, he has like multiple appearances in boss fights throughout the games. But I don't really see him being very overused.
In fact, pretty much
Other
every
villains got a chance
Ganondorf
to
appearance
shine.
automatically makes a game more memorable, especially since he doesn't appear all the time.
In fact, almost all of the most popular and iconic Zelda games feature Ganondorf as at least one of the main villains. The only exceptions are Skyward Sword and Majora's Mask.
Link's
Sure, there are a few
Awakening,
gems
Phantom
that don't
Hourglass,
feature him.
and Spirit Tracks.
Then there are games like
But then again, those
Trials
villains
of
probably
Heroes
aren't that
feature a
memorable.
lame as hell villain that
Like
makes
this
the
lady.
people who say Ganondorf is overused say they would rather have Ganondorf.
I saw a video of a YouTuber saying that at one time.
I will rip her soul out, so we never have to.
I
worry
mean,
about
seriously,
that
we
fate
didn't
well
ask for
again.
Lady Maud.
This, combined with the other qualities you listed earlier in this review, only makes Ganondorf that much more impressive as a character.
Some people have argued that it comes at the cost of other secondary villains like myself. However, that's not entirely true.
I know.
Orox, Varen, Twin Rover, myself, and Astor all managed to stand out all on their own in terms of actions and personality.
That's the thing, people complain about
I don't
Santa
understand the
being
complaints,
overtaken by Ganondorf at the end of the
especially when
game.
Yuga in particular
They consider that a
stole
bad
the
thing.
plot from Ganon.
Similar to how several villains like myself stole the plot from Bowser, even if villains stealing the plot from Ganon doesn't happen as frequently. So yeah, at this point we've said all that needs to be said, so let's get to
mean,
the final
I don't
verdict.
mind certain villains stealing the plot, but there are certain cases where it's not really done well.
Ganondorf
Uncharted
is one
1,
of Nintendo's
for example.
best video game villains of all time, and probably one of the more intimidating video game villains compared to someone like Bowser. So for that, I give him a 9 out of 10. He's an amazing villain. How about you, Chad?
If you guys have seen my content, I think you know what score
I already know what score you're gonna give him.
If you don't know, I'd give him a 10 out of 10 since he's actually my favorite villain of all time, like I said before.
I hopefully will get a chance to play Tears of the Kingdom and see his amazing appearance and boss fight, because I definitely would be happy to praise it for what it is.
I will be there.
But,
until then, goodbye.
like I'm ever gonna get that game.
This has been fun indeed. I look forward to our future endeavors. Now I must go, for I fear that I must attempt to reclaim my rightful place as the ruler of the Twilight Realm.
You have fun with that.
Whatever. If bad media needs to be destroyed, I'll be there, but only for that. Unless I have no choice. Farewell.
That was fun! And before I go, episode 4 of the King Ollie Show is on the way, and episode 5
I look
will
forward to
feature
them.
Ganondorf himself as we rant on Activision Blizzard. Another episode I've planned will involve the top 15 best villain fights in video games.
I look forward to
I
that.
hope you look forward to those episodes. Until
Hopefully
then,
some candidates
see you next
I'll
time.
see.
Now that this is taken care of, I'll leave you to wrap
I got an
things up.
idea for a video you guys could do.
Uh,
Favorite and hated Zelda bosses. You did one for Mario,
Mario,
but that's up to you if you want to do
Well
that.
then, see you next time.
Let me know if you feel interested in the idea of that.
Now that this review is done, I also want to remind you all that I will be making more lyric videos so my old fans for mashups and lyrics can be satisfied. In fact, some of the lyric videos are already in production, so they should be here soon. Until then, see you in the next video.
See you in the next video. Sorry if I'm not, like, mostly reactive, but it's I mean, I think he's definitely one of the greatest villains in gaming history. Even if there are some other villains I do prefer, in my opinion, due to me not getting much memorability or experience with this character, but I definitely can see why fans really love Ganondorf and even call him the best villain. I mean, seriously, it's all shown here why he is one of the best in Nintendo's catalog. More so than Bowser. Like, Bowser's cool, but yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much the whole video. I hope you all, like, enjoyed. And if you want to see the actual video without my voice, then link is in the description for the video. This belongs to Super DED6, not me. I'm just here doing the reaction. So, yeah, this belongs to him. I've seen his channel. He hasn't posted it for a while, but I definitely know who his most favorite antagonist is. I mean, it's no big surprise, considering it. Hew, 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 hew. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Once again, check out the original video in the description. None of this belongs to me. And I do have a countdown video planned. It's going to be about Ratchet & Clank. Not going to spoil what it is, but yeah. I will see you all in the next video, and I look forward to future content on this channel. So, see you all later.